Call of Duty Warzone 2.0 introduces two new gameplay mechanics, Strongholds and Black Sites, to breathe new life into the game's battle royale competition. As a standalone sequel to Call of Duty Warzone Crater, Warzone 2 has introduced some jarring changes to Warzone gameplay, from player communication to social features. Warzone 2's massive new game maps include Strongholds and Black Sites, offering players new ways to earn loot and blueprints. New features are sure to attract new players to the free-to-play battle royale game, as well as attract existing players to the game map, bringing randomly generated strongholds to Al-Mazrah. Warzone 2's massive game zone, Strongholds and Black Sites continue a successful trend of Warzone map and gameplay changes. These areas are occupied by AI-controlled enemies who, when defeated, drop critical supplies and possibly keys to the Black Stations. Black Sites act as stronger strongholds, offering more rewards and constant upgrades to players who survive enemy strongholds. Strongholds and Black Sites add interesting variety to the game as well as new ways to succeed in Call of Duty Warzone 2. Warzone 2.0 mounts and black points are randomly generated AI-controlled areas. In Call of Duty Warzone 2, fortifications appear, and after the first round collapses, players are alerted that the fortress is ready to be taken. Warzone 2's Al-Mazrah map is larger than Warzone's Caldera map and has many different POIs for players to explore. This includes the new garrison mechanic, which generates 3 random garrison areas at various POI scattered throughout Al-Mazrah. When a fort becomes available, players must compete to be the first to infiltrate one of the 3 forts and defuse the bomb within the time limit. This special feature adds an element of excitement to the start of the Warzone 2 game. When a fortress appears, the player is tasked with choosing between standard looting and crouching, or finding the fortress and fighting AI-controlled enemies and other enemy teams. Completing the stronghold will give players access to the custom Warzone 2 loadout, and will also activate temporary drones. Giving players more combat and gameplay options gives Warzone 2 an edge in battle royale warfare, and Strongholds does a good job with both. The first team to defuse the ball and complete the fort will be rewarded with generous loot and a chance to enter the Black Space. Early garrison victories reward Black Site keys for bigger and harder battles in Warzone 2.0. Black Spot is a bigger, badder version of Stronghold in Call of Duty Warzone 2. AI-controlled enemies have more firepower, more armor, and of course they drop more loot. Black Sites become available after the first team completes the garrison and obtains the Black Site key, and its location is appropriately marked with a skull. However, enemy teams that complete a garrison after the first team won't receive the Black Site key, so it's more valuable to rush to the first available garrison in a match. Players attract a lot of attention by destroying strongholds, illuminating TAC maps with enemy fire, and alerting players via Warzone 2's proximity chat if they make contact. The location of the Black Spot is also shared with enemy players, making the trek to the Black Spot just as dangerous as destroying it. But where the stakes are high, Call of Duty Warzone 2 Black Sites has great rewards. Black Site victories reward huge trading advantages and permanent draws in Warzone 2.0. Successfully completing the Black Site in Call of Duty Warzone 2 not only turns the tide in the battle royale game, but also rewards players with rare and permanent upgrades with exclusive rewards. When activated, hordes of deadly AI-controlled enemies will attack players entering the Black Site. After taking out enough enemies, a juggernaut will appear and continue attacking. By ditching the juggernaut, players will have the best chance of getting the best loadout in Call of Duty Warzone, including upgraded backpacks, self-lift, and an upgraded drone that moves around in circles where players are forced. It has been active until unreachable. But one of the key aspects of completing Black Site is that completing a Black Site for the first time gives players permanent weapon blueprints. This is key to players' long-term success in Call of Duty Warzone, as rare weapon plans can make or break a custom loadout in future battles and make it easier to combat future Black Sites. For players looking to face off against advanced AI teams, predatory squads, and ever-tightening circles, Black Sites is the ultimate challenge in Call of Duty Warzone 2. Call of Duty Warzone 2 and Call of Duty Warzone are currently live, and both versions of the hugely popular battle royale game have received critical acclaim. Proximity chat is a new concept in Warzone 2, but it doesn't scale with distance and is set to a consistent volume. This feature led to some rewarding moments between enemy players, but also opened the door to new forms of evil in the game. And unlike any other newly released video game, Warzone 2 has a lot of bugs that still need to be ironed out. However, Call of Duty Warzone 2 manages to avoid many of the faults of the original Warzone, and the addition of fortresses and black ruins is another good example of the new game's improvements. New AI-infested objective areas are a massive set of challenges that force players to make tactical decisions about drop zones, POIs, and enemy tracking working alongside their teammates. Increasing the effort of black sites doubles the ego of Strongholds and provides a meaningful, game-changing reward for the most persistent team. Along with other new features like proximity chat and assimilation, Stronghold and Black Site firmly establish Call of Duty Warzone 2.0 as the second biggest battle royale game. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and support my channel.